Hi, welcome to my channel. So today what I'd like to cover is Genesis chapter 32 verse 24 through 30, which discusses the angel that Jacob wrestled with. Now in most of the English translations they have actually changed the word angel for man, okay, as it says in verse 24. However, one of the things I find very interesting is when Christian leaders talk about that particular chapter, they say that, Jacob's name was named Israel because he struggled with God and prevailed, or he struggled with an angel is what you'll hear some of them say. And it's interesting, why did they replace angel with man? Okay, and he certainly didn't struggle with God, but he did struggle with an angel. And it's something no one talks about, which I find very interesting, is who was the angel? Okay, it's definitely some need to know information, and more importantly, why was it hidden, and why has it been changed, the translation, to man? An angel's not a man, okay? An angel's not human. So it's interesting that they changed it. But we're going to get to really the heart of the matter to understand what has been hidden, and we're going to do a series to really help to educate our brothers and sisters in the Israelite community, to wake them up to understand that Christianity, unfortunately, is it's a false religion, and it is about idolatry based on the people that have essentially conquered our lands and essentially stolen the writings of our people that they have locked away in the Vatican and the British Library and museums, that they have hidden, okay, the original writing in translation, and what you really, or actually the original writings of our people. What you need to understand is it doesn't matter what version you're reading, whether you're reading the King James Version, the New American Standard Version, or even the NIV, known as the New International Version. All the translations you're reading are translated by the wicked ones, or wicked scribes in the world of Christianity, to essentially keep you asleep and in the dark of the truth of the matter. Because the truth of the matter is the original writings, okay, the original version of the scriptures was not written in English, it wasn't written in Greek, and it wasn't even written in Latin. The original writings of our people was written in the ancient Aramaic language, which they call Hebrew. Okay, the ancient Aramaic language of our people. And in order for you to understand what you're reading in English, you're going to need to learn and understand the Aramaic language, the ancient language of our people. It is not a dead language. It is the language that your enemies, okay, in the Christian world, our enemies, are using to continue to code what has been hidden, because they don't think you're intelligent enough to figure it out, because many of our people do not take the language, or excuse me, take the time to learn the ancient language of our people, and it is vital. Otherwise, you're going to continue whatever you're reading in English until you begin to understand the original language, which is the Aramaic. It's like continuing to dig, okay, for hidden treasure using the wrong shovel, and you're just going to be forever digging for a treasure, hidden treasure you'll never find. Or what some people say, you're going to be forever in the dark, which I find is a little harsh, but reality is, it's the truth. So you really must begin to learn the original language of our people. So we're going to get started and start with verse 24 in, again, chapter 32 of Genesis, to find out who's the angel that Jacob really wrestled with. So it says in verse 24, "Then Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him until daybreak. When he saw that he had not prevailed against him, he touched the socket of his thigh. So the socket of Jacob's thigh was dislocated while he wrestled with him. Then the angel said, 'Let me go, for the dawn is breaking.' But he said, 'I will not let you go unless you bless me,'" that is Jacob. So the angel said to him, "What is your name?" And Jacob said, "Jacob." So the angel said, "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with men and have prevailed." Then Jacob asked him and said, "Please tell me your name." But he said, Why is it that you ask my name? And he blessed them there. So Jacob named the place Peniel, for he said, I have seen God face to face, yet my life has been preserved. So we're going to stop right there, and let's break down that translation a little bit more to understand what it actually means and what it says. So if we go to the interlinear section here, it shows us all of the Hebrew lexicon strong concordance words in Hebrew for each verse in the scriptures. So for example, the word Jacob is the strong concordance Hebrew word 3290, which means Jacob. And then if you scroll further down here, the word daybreak, and that is the word that I really want to focus on here, is the Hebrew Strong's Concordance number 7837, which means in Hebrew or Aramaic shakar. And that's the word we really need to understand what it really means. But what I would like to do is understand what that word means in verse 26, because it's mentioned again there where it says, Then he said, Let me go, for the dawn is breaking. But he said, I will not let you go until you bless me. So let's look at what that word means in that verse. So when we go down to verse 26 and we look at the concordance again, that word shakar is being used here for dawn. Alrighty, and it's 7837. Let's find out what that word shakar really means. So when you click on shakar, the Strong's translates it as it means morning, day, early day spring light riseth, and sha'ar. And it also means dawn. Okay? And it is a masculine noun. Keep that in mind. And then if we go further down to find out what it means in the Hebrew Chaldee lexicon, the Jensenius, it says, again, dawn, morning, nothing insidious there. But if we further read on, it says, also, it's ascribed to wings, son of the morning, used of Lucifer, the morning star. Okay, so I don't know if you understand a little bit about the history of Lucifer. He's also known as, he has many names. Lucifer is also known as the light bearer. They call him the morning star, and the reason why he is called the morning star, one of the reasons is he actually, when he was an angel in heaven, he served in the temple of the Most High, and at dawn, all the angels gather at dawn to give worship and to sing. And during the gathering at dawn, Lucifer actually led the morning song at dawn. So that's one of the many reasons why he's called the morning star. So if this is still not quite clear to you, okay, we go and look up that word Peniel, as it had mentioned. Let's go back here. It says, so Jacob named that place Peniel, for he said, I have seen God face to face, yet my life has been preserved. So if you look up that word Peniel, and this is another thing they like to do, the wicked scribes in the world of Judaism and Christianity. What they like to do is they like to do a lot of word plays, and they've essentially corrupted the Aramaic language of our people. So they change a lot of letters around, and for example, Peniel is spelled with a U as well as with an I. Some of the scribes spell it differently. But what I want us to focus on is the fact that Peniel actually derives from the Aramaic word panah, and we're going to tell you what it actually means in a second. But just so you understand that he really did wrestle with Lucifer, it says here, Jacob wrestled with a man, and again, that verse is quoted in Hosea chapter 12, verse 4. But in Hosea 12:4, it says the angel, okay, till the break of dawn. This episode resulted in God, or the angel, changing Jacob's name to Israel, which literally means he who struggles with God, and that's not exactly that's not what it means. That's false, and we're going to explain exactly and show you and prove to you that not only is that false, what Yisrael's name actually means. And as you can see in this picture, he's struggling with an angel, or wrestling with an angel. So let's go to look up the word panah. Now what's interesting is, what's very disturbing is, why would they hide the fact that Jacob wrestled with Lucifer and replaced his name with God? Okay, I mean, why would they commit such blasphemy, if you think about it? And it's one of the things that the Most High mentions in the book of Ezekiel, the blasphemy by the wicked ones, okay? And why would they do that? And obviously it's because what they have done is they have taken a lot of the verses that refer to their father, who they serve, Lucifer. They've taken him out to hide his identity, and they replaced it with either Lord, and sometimes God, which is very disturbing. As you can see, here's the proof right here, and you have to understand, Lord is another word that they use for Lucifer. That's why you really shouldn't be calling the Most High that word, because that's what these wicked ones in the world of Christianity that's what they replaced it with. The names of our Father in heaven, they replaced it with his name, because that is the false god that they serve, their father Lucifer. Okay, and we're going to show you more proof, because that term morning star, the other word for Lucifer that they like to call him, has been used throughout the scriptures, and we're going to uncover what they have hidden to reveal who they're really serving in the world of Christianity, to help our brothers and sisters, our Israelite brothers and sisters, get out of Christianity, because that's who you're following when you are serving, and you're in those churches, you're kneeling down and serving and in front of that cross. That's who you're bowing to, is you're serving him, because that's what Christianity is. Remember, the original language on this earth, the oldest faith is the Hebraic faith, the faith of our ancestors, not Judaism. Judaism is another false religion, false representation of the ancient faith of our people. We didn't have a religion. We had a faith and the instructions that the Most High gave us in order to his laws, okay, in order to serve him faithfully, okay, as he had given to the beginning, since the dawn of creation. He gave to man, he gave to Adam. Alright, so let's take a look to find out Penuel, okay, that word Peniel, or Penuel is what they call it, but the word is actual Panah, what it really means. They say it says, I've seen God. The reason why he named it that is because he saw God face to face. We know he didn't see God, okay? So let's see what that word actually means. It means, if you look up it in the Aramaic lexicon, Hebrew lexicon, the word Panah means to turn, to face, to appear, and to look. So that's a verb, okay? And what's very important is, that's why he named that place, or that area where he wrestled Lucifer and overcame him. He named it Panah, is because he came face to face with his enemy, with our enemy, Lucifer, okay? And he prevailed. So that's really important. And if you enter in the word dawn, you will find this word, as well as Shakar, what Lucifer's real name is, okay? So now, how do we know that word when they say he struggles with God? That's why they named him Yisrael. Why that is false? Well, if you type in the name Jacob in the Hebrew Aramaic lexicon, you'll find out what the word Yisrael really means. It doesn't mean what the wicked leaders are saying in the world of Christianity. What the word Yisrael really means is, it's Aramaic for God prevails. Not what they have written, which is he who struggles with God. That's not what it means, that he struggled with God and prevailed. No, because we know he didn't wrestle with God. No man is any match for God, and no angel for that matter, okay? There's no way. Let's think about that for a minute. You're going to wrestle with God and win, okay? Because God is all powerful, our Father in heaven, the Most High, okay? So we know that Yisrael means God prevails, and the reason why we know that, and it makes sense, is because God gave Jacob the power, the Most High, to overcome Lucifer, and therefore the Most High prevailed, and that's why he is called Yisrael, okay, Jacob. And it also says here, the second name for Jacob given to him by the Most High after his wrestling with the angel at Peniel. Okay, so again, just more clarification on what has been deliberately mistranslated by the wicked scribes in the world of Christianity. Alrighty, so thank you so much for tuning in, and please feel free to pass this video along and share it with other Israelites that are waking up, and even the ones that have not, awakened to the truth. Please share the video and pass it on to help them understand what has been done, and what's all of the, the fact that they're being deceived in the world of Christianity. And we're going to continue our series on Jacob, as well as reveal more and more what has been hidden and what they have coded in their English translations. But thank you so much again for tuning in, and may the Most High bless.